Okay, so um, doing a quick little replay analysis. I have a long form kind of stream of consciousness one, but for this, I just wanted to quickly touch on uh, three of the key engages I saw. I've already watched the full replay. That I thought you guys could have done a few things different, and it would have hopefully changed the outcome of the game. It definitely would have changed how the engages played out. Something I mentioned early on is mainly I don't know why you guys have a Lily. Yeah, I if you ever have a choice, I can't imagine like Lily being optimal unless there was like I don't have access to your bans obviously, but I mean I figure if Ana got taken, Ana got through ban phase, there was probably another healer you could have taken here. Mostly just because she's very limited in what she can do, and they are a very heavy sustain comp, and Lily does not have the level of sustain that Ana can provide a Johanna and a Blaze. And to top it off, Hanzo and Tychus both dish out very heavy duty damage. So it's going to be really hard to keep someone like Mongoose on Diablo alive, given an extended fight, which means you guys kind of have to end your fights pretty quickly. The good news is, if you can isolate and kill either the Hanzo or Tychus, they really don't have a lot of ways to like win a fight after that. They just don't have a lot of damage. They also have no way to dive on your backline, so as long as you position correctly, they have to walk at you. So the good news there is not only does it make it a little easier to peel, but Larson on Raynor, he can kind of just have free reign and shoot the tanks a lot. Because again, Johanna and Blaze both are the engage, and they have to walk at him unless Blaze uses E, which has a startup. So as long as you're awake, you're not going to get hit by that. And Johanna, Bless Shield at 10 is the scary thing. So essentially, their engage is post 10, Dragon Arrow from Hanzo, Bless Shield from Johanna, and again, like we know Blaze takes combustion, but again, that's not really an engage. So just like essentially throw oils and then walk at you, because again, you're not getting hit by E unless you get stuck in a tiny little choke or something. So anyway, so this is the first engage I found interesting. Obviously, Dahaka's going to burrow up, and Larson's hanging over. So you guys ideally get a 5v4 here. And you already have level 7, so you just want to stall. You just want to stall for a little bit, because Dahaka is at half-life, so probably want to tap first. I'm assuming Grendel has the tap up. Of note, they are already hiding in the bush Dahaka would ideally burrow into, so something to keep in mind. So you walk up. I would would not want to face check this bush. I would just throw a fire stomp out. You still have 9 seconds till tribute, so if you do that, it will still be up for a stall, and there's just no reason to risk it. Like, it's just a good rule of thumb. This early, it's unlikely that there's any bush party that's going to suddenly delete you as Diablo, but it's just a good habit to have. Also, so you guys know Hanzo is showing. So you know where Hanzo and Blaze is. So Hanzo's here. So you can safely be here if you want. You can be here or you can be here. But being here does not help anyone. You takes you longer to get to action if there is an issue in the bush. So you start to move in, and then you immediately back up. And then you turn back around and start going in. But look at Mongoose. Mongoose already lost half his life. So Jason, ideally, you would have kept going and been here. And you would already have thrown out W and ideally like QE'd. In a 100% ideal world, you go up, you go E, you dump W and E, you like auto Q, and then hopefully auto Q on the Tychus. And then you can turn this fight. Another possibility is just waiting. There's no reason for you guys to go in while Larson's all the way over here and Dahaka just finished tapping. You still have time. So tribute, again, 6 seconds. You don't have to be here. And again, it just goes to show if you had checked Bush, then we have a better idea of where we want to approach from and where we want to, try the stall from. So Blizzard comes out. Hanzo moves out of vision. So we know Hanzo's probably rotating toward the back here. If very aggressive, might come through here. But probably not. So Blizzard misses. You miss the EQ. Well, and just basically you shouldn't throw the EQ there. Once the Blizzard and they kind of split out of this bush, there's not an engage anymore. If you could have dumped all your damage spells on both of them to begin with, then maybe there's a possibility. But otherwise, you're just kind of wasting cooldowns and mana. And so Ana immediately tries to get some health back to her teammates. Dahaka burrows in. Larson's still coming. So, again, normally I wouldn't want to play a slower game because they have a better sustain comp, but in this case I think it's good to because you want the 5-on-4. And Joe's here. So Joe, you guys can just get a lot of damage on Joe for free right now. Again, this is like where the cooldowns would help. It's like, especially if Grendel hits the tongue here, like this is all just free EQ. You're also not autoing. You should be autoing Johanna here. You have nothing else to do. Yeah, so there's one. There's the Q. There's an auto. So at this point, the team's your team is kind of all up in there, and their team's kind of split. So this is good. This is fine. So the real question is if you want to go after Tychus with Shadow Charge. Where are you? There you go. Or if you just want to focus on Johanna. I'm kind of okay with that just because Tychus can't really do too much else to you here. And Larson's like teeing off. But we do Shadow Charge in. Unfortunately, we missed the wall. Hit flip is good. Tychus needs to die, though. Now that you've engaged, you are in no man's land. You need to get a kill on Tychus. Tychus needs to die. E is up. So, this should be an E and an auto. Into a Q, this should be a dead Tychus. Lily doesn't have anything. You also have Raynor Q after, so even if the Jan doesn't kill them by themselves, Raynor should be able to finish. And unfortunately, Tychus lives. Almost dies. Grendel goes in after him. The Blizzard's going to catch him and kill him, which is good, but it leaves Grendel in a very awkward position, and Hanzo can kind of just shoot for free. Mongoose, you're way over here. You shouldn't be here. I understand why, though. You just wanted to back out. You didn't want to get, chunked down more. So you chase. Mongoose can't stop here. Well, you can, but rather, once you see they're running, if you want to try and cut them off, then you got to move over here. Or you mount. You stop and you mount here, and then you chase. Because ideally you want to get to here. And once you get to the bush, you can Q. You can Q and catch the edge of the corner here. And so if you get the Shadow Charge on Johanna, she dies. Because you'll have vision because of Grendel. So Condemned's down. Grendel, if you keep going, Mongoose has Q and gonna have E up. You can Q E, and then you two can kill Philip. But you let him go. So I think, as it played out, that was okay, but you really should have had 2 kills there. As it stands. Also of note, because the fight took a little while, Blaze got down here for free, has essentially made up the level difference. So we move ahead. We move ahead, we move ahead. They're on boss. It's going to be a 6-minute boss. This is not a big deal. Like, 6-minute boss is, especially when you already have siege, it's going to take siege and wall. You guys don't even need to worry about it, really. For the tribute, I would rather anchor this bush. And you can have Dahaka here if you want. But, I mean, as far as anchoring goes, I feel like this is a much better bush to be in. Largely because you can stand here, and you still have vision here. You have better vision here. Jason and Larson can stand here. They're basically protected and can also, if they do come the most aggressive path, you guys can just dump cooldowns on them for free, and you can't get punished. You also have better escape routes doing that because you can just back up through here, and Mongoose can either go here, or if he doesn't think he'd get out that way, he can back out through here and try and mount and run away. Because unless the Blaze comes up and meets him, it doesn't really matter. So then you start boss, which is, I wouldn't say ideal, because again, early game bosses just aren't very good. I think since you're all down here, you might have wanted to consider like trying to gank Blaze instead, and go and soak mid. That way you're basically guaranteed to stay on level and get 10. So instead you guys go ahead, you do boss, and alright. So I would have Diablo anchoring here and not Grendel, if only because of Johanna Ironskin. So getting off a flip or a shadow charge before Johanna has the chance to respond with that Ironskin is just better most of the time. The other thing of note is when you split like this, it's very awkward unless you know the boss is about to die. Because when you pull the boss out here, if he boss stuns and they invade during that time, you get cut off. So you kind of like all want to be here, or you all want to be here, and just leave one person in the bush. So you see him. Before Grendel even comes out, you guys need to decide if you're like bailing on this boss, in which case you split two, go head down and split two here, and Grendel starts walking back. Or if you're going to try and fight and finish, in which case Larson needs to step up here, and you guys need to hold this choke as best you can. So Grendel pulls them out, pulls Johan outward, trying to give you guys a chance. Also, Jason, you can't get stunned here. You can't get hit by... So now we're in this awkward split. Blaze has come up from bot, so you're flanked. He has a great engage on you. One of your main DPS is over here in no man's land, and you're all stuck. So again, this is purely just you guys need to position, and you need to decide right away whether or not you want to bail out or fight. And in this case, pre-10 with a 6-minute boss, like, I just don't think this is worth fighting over. So Mongoose, you do, when you walk up and get this charge here, that's pretty good. The problem is, again, look at your backline. Like, this has gone to shit. There's just nothing you can really do, though. Blaze actually kind of messes around, doesn't do much. Jason comes around, doesn't quite hit. Let's go back for 1 second. So we did blah blah blah, we're all past this. Okay. So we do that. Jason gets hit. Jason walks around. Even taking boss attacks, I think it might have been better just to walk over here. But okay, so you walk around here. What happens? Also, this should be a flip. You need as much life. Sorry, you're on Devil's Due. Never mind. You're not getting any life off that. Even so, because Jason's walking over here, it's still probably better just to flip anyway, because then Jason can dump sooner. So you get hit by sleep. Jason comes. Jason dumps Blizzard. I don't hate this Blizzard positioning, but I kind of almost want to put it here because then it's guaranteed to hit Johanna. But I guess at this point, you really just need to get Tychus off Diablo. So you pump everything, you get some damage through. You need to run all of you need to run away now. Scatter misses. Yeah, Mongoose is dead. You guys could have done nothing and Mongoose was going to die. Like, you tried, but there's just nothing going to save him. Like, Blaze has oil, E. There's still Sleep Dart. There's just a lot of ways to not let Mongoose get out there.
Tribute or face my
so actually that could have been a lot worse for you guys. So that's good. The downside is obviously like they didn't get boss, but also you just wasted your chance to like get 10 first. That's the main issue. But yeah, see, the early boss, you guys went up there to finish it off. And even if you hadn't, it wasn't going to get for it.
Choose a talent.
So you guys give. That's fine. Doesn't matter. Kill bot boss. So we're just moving ahead essentially because while there's a lot back and forth, this is the big one. So this is the big thing. So, okay, once you decide this is your positioning and you're going to come from this angle instead of through here or around here, then it becomes important for Larson to be up here and be dealing as much damage to the tanks as possible. Also, obviously make sure this bush is checked. Honestly, both bushes, but yeah, see, and you've already done it. You fire stomp, you see Johanna, that's great. So two options. One, Mongoose, you're now anchoring, and Larson just kind of tees off. Grendel, I'm not sure what Grendel up here really accomplishes, so I kind of want him to just walk down. The other thing you guys can do is you can, if Johanna backs out over here, you can aggressively push up and try and catch Tychus out. So the main thing to remember here is their win cons, which is they have 2 beefy sustains and an Ana. So they want to outlast you. The other way they win is they just chain stun you. Like they have Bless Shield and Arrow. And then they get like a fat combustion or something. Like, these are good single target damage, but they don't really like kill you. Also, one thing of note is like Odin's very good at pushing people back, so you don't be afraid if they pop Odin too early just to walk away. So Philip takes a lot of damage, continues to take a lot of free damage. This is great. Grendel can even kind of walk in and look for a tongue here. Yeah, this is good. This is really good by you guys. Jason can be a little closer, maybe. Again, there's not much risk here for Jason, so nobody can dive in on you guys. So really all you're looking out for is Dragon Arrow. Okay, this Johanna just stepped way too far up. As soon as they walk up a little further, like you Shadow Charge. Just 100%. If anything, You can even just like wait until condemn goes off and you just shout charge. This is great. So now Larson, Jason, you need to be a little further back because this Johann is stepping up. And you guys missed the condemn, which is great. And actually, Jason can also just turn and dump everything, and this Johann is going to die. Get some damage, shadow charge. Okay, Jason needs to dump everything. This Johann is dead. Jason, you just turn, you dump everything into him. You guys hear the trigger? Astiel, you popped jugs. But you see this, you hear this, you have to walk away. Because you can't get caught in the stun here. Because, again, how do you lose this fight? This Johann is dead. So how do you lose this fight? Well, if they chain stun you. And Blaze Ease hits essentially all of you. So cancels the ult, you're all stuck. He goes right into combustion. Then Bless Shield comes out. Because the Johann is not dead, which is, again, should be dead. You lose half your life. Then Dragon Arrow at point blank range. And Jaina never gets to dump any of her spells except for the ring. And we know how this goes. You trade a little, but ultimately you lose the fight. Although you do a good job of almost turning it. But I mean, ultimately, like, Ana is just not going to let them die.
Red team has
And then they get a curse. And but ultimately, they don't actually get very much off it. If I remember correctly, they only get your fort. They don't even get a keep wall. So they actually kind of waste it. But yeah, it just goes back to where I was saying. Let's go back in time. A little further. Yeah. So this is played well, and in fact, Larson, you can actually stand a little further up. The main thing is as long as Diablo's here, especially with the Haka right here, you can afford to do that. But yeah, this is just good play in general. And again, you're doing the right thing where you're backing up. It's just, yeah, Jason, you just have to dump out your spells. Like, you held them for a good opportunity, and that's great. And this is the opportunity. This is where it comes in, and you just got to dump everything and kill them. And the fight instantly becomes winnable. Because, again, not only is it 4v5 at that point, but even assuming Astiel, like, isn't over here instead of here and getting stunned, there's no Blessed Shield. One of those stuns is missing, which means you guys can use your cooldowns instead of just being essentially stun locked for 3+ seconds. But yeah. This is good, and then it's just like minor positional errors. That's the good news about this engage. It's a really unfortunate how it played out, but it's easily fixable. All you have to do is be a little more on the ball with the DPS abilities, and just be more aware of your positioning, and be more aware of their win conditions. Like, their win condition here was like literally just stun you to death, and they did it. But that's only because you let them. So that's good, because that's really easy to fix. You weren't like mechanically outplayed in this engage or anything. It was literally just a little better positioning and a quicker trigger finger on your cooldowns, and you win this fight. And that's huge, because I really think you guys wipe them. Like, probably don't wipe them, but you probably get at least one more kill, and you get curse, and you just completely flip it. Because look at your, you got bruisers pushing. So with curse, that's huge. That's way better than how it turns out. And there was one other quick thing I wanted to look at before we stop. Yeah. So, again, yeah, they don't get much off the curse, which is great for you guys. Yeah, here. So, they're on boss. You see them on boss. You scare them off boss, which is great. Again, look at this positioning. Mongoose and Nahawk are here. Johanna's already in your back line. This is not good. Mongoose needs to immediately, like, backtrack, and you guys need to, like, do as much as you can to kill this Johanna. Because the good news is they split. Now, you guys don't know that. But you did see them break off and go this way. You don't know if they're here or here, but you know at least two of them split over here. And then you see them come back. And the other thing is, from your previous engage, you know they're very good at stunning you if you get clumped. So you three need to stay back here and do whatever you can. And these two need to protect the choke. Assuming you want to hard engage into this. The other reason you want to do this is because you have a Jaina with Icy Veins. And if you guys can just get the... Even Johanna and Blaze with an Ana, if you get them stuck here and you pop Icy Veins, you're going to do so much damage to them. And if any of their squishies get stuck in there, like say Taika steps too far up and gets tongued, or Mongoose gets a flip, they die. That's it. The game's over. You also have Ring APOC, and that's a great way to counter-engage. So Odin gets popped. So this is kind of do or die time. Like, you guys have the opportunity, you can still back out. But you are stuck, and you're going to take a lot of damage if you do it. So, Jason, you probably need to move here and throw out Ring. And then start throwing out all your spells and pop Icy Veins and just see what happens. Steel, this is also if you're going to preemptively pop Jugs, this is the time to do it. Like, and then stand back here where you're not going to get stunned. Because again, you guys don't know where Hanzo is. If Hanzo's here and just lines up in air and hits you guys, that's huge. That's with Odin popped already, that could be game over. So Combustion goes out. And Jason walks up a little farther to try and get a better ring, but takes a bunch of damage in the process. But still, look at Blaze already. Look at the damage Blaze is at. But the thing I was worried about happens, and that is Hanzo lines up in air and fires it. The good news is it only hits Jaina. If it hit all of you, I think you're totally screwed. But the good news is it's only on Jaina. So Jugs needs to be popped. Jugs is popped. The problem is it's just not enough to save the Jaina at this point. But, and, yeah. This can't happen. Jaina dies without getting to use any of her abilities and without getting to use Icy Veins.
Oh, no.
It's no good. It's no bueno. You guys had a good engage here. It was risky, but it was good. Or you could have backed out. And that's really the main problem. Dahaka's dead. It's unfortunate, but Dahaka's dead here. You shouldn't even turn around. Just assume he's gone and leave. You guys split here, and I'm not sure why. Lily, you need to stay with them. You have fast feet and blinds. You have the best chance of keeping them alive. Like... I wouldn't have even hated Mongoose staying back and trying to stall in here to let you two get away. Because he has full souls. He comes back, and he comes back quickly. And they chase you down, and you die. But yeah, I mean, that's one of the only upsides about having a Lily is you have fast feet. Which gives you a better chance. So yeah, I think the biggest thing there is just... The engages you lost were less about, like, mechanical skill, which is good, and it was more about just simple positioning errors, and that's good because they're easily fixable. You guys just need to be more aware of where to be when your opponents are looking for their win condition. And also, when you have a win con... Like, your team's win con is essentially to let Jason dump all his spells onto a target and kill them. ideally off like a Diablo wallbang or flip or something. And so Jason should not be 9 first. And so some of that is on him. He just, as we saw in the one engage, just didn't hit buttons quick enough to take advantage of it. And there are other times where you guys could have just put their position as a whole to make his life a little easier, but also there's no reason to not be firing off a bunch of spells in this choke. Like, you just need to be more aggressive about it. And again, I think for Lily, you were fine. It's just a matter of you're Lily. You have very limited impact on the fights. Like, you're just kind of there and hoping things go well. So yeah, that's kind of my short form on this game. I'll probably upload the full one later, but just I wanted to get my original thoughts immediately after doing the replay. And those were the engages that stuck out the most, where you guys took engages that were like reasonable to good and they ended poorly for you, but I wanted to understand. Well, sorry, the first one ended all right, but the other ones ended poorly. And I just wanted to kind of understand why and get that to you guys.